up, though? So we here in Detroit, and I thought this was the D. I thought this is where they got money, where they be spending something. No. The D stands for dead broke. The D stands for they ain't direct deposit in their bank account. The D stands for don't call these, don't come to Detroit. They ain't spending. They are not tricking out here. Don't waste your time. The D stands for don't do it. Don't do it. And you see how much fire that look? Don't do it.
So apparently these women are going viral, especially here in the city of Detroit, because they came here from wherever it is that they came here from, expecting for guys. I guess they was just going to pop up and show up, and then guys were going to just automatically start spending a bunch of money on them and showing them a good time and buying bottles and paying for their drinks and maybe taking them out and buying them cars. And the next morning, hey, listen, come on over here. We're going to go shopping and we're going to spend some money out here in these streets, and I'm going to take you to buy Louis Vuitton and maybe even a Chanel bag. And we're not expecting anything from it or any of that type of stuff. We're going to come out here maybe on a Monday night or Tuesday night, if you're lucky, maybe a Saturday night, and you're going to find you a baller to spend a bunch of money on you. What type of delusion are we living in nowadays, honestly? I'm genuinely curious what monsters have been created from the narratives on social media, because I've heard the narratives myself that, yo, the guys in Detroit, they spending money on chicks. And let's be clear. I think that guys spend money when they don't have anything to lose, as far as like they getting it fast, so they let it go fast. Obviously, the whole BMF movement, that played a role in it. And then you got the D-boys from the 80s and the 90s that was willing to spend the money because it's like, I live fast, I die fast, or whatever like that, right? And then you got another group of guys that may be taking care of women that they really, really care of, and they, you know, what they care for, and they really generous. And so that's where it is. But if you talk to anybody in the streets, you talk to the dancers, you talk to the bartenders, you talk to the people that's out here, and that's not just, you're not just going to walk outside and find a guy that's willing to spend a whole bunch of money on you just because you decided that you want to fly here and go out the same night. And that translates into you just finding a guy that want to trick on you. And I think that that's a horrible reputation, honestly, personally. I think that that's a bad reputation. You can't really control how people feel or the narrative that's being painted and all of that stuff. I think that the only thing that you can do is be authentically you. And even me, I'm pretty generous to the people that I love. I'm not about to just run into a random at the bar and just be like, yeah, let me go ahead and trick off on you and spend a whole bunch of money on you. That's not how life works. You know what I'm saying? I've even seen women on these apps, you know, talk about going to this high-end hotel and doing this. No, that means that you're prostituting. That's what that translates into. You go to a hotel where you think that the ballers are, or it's a very high-end hotel and all of this stuff, and you think that you're going to network yourself into finding a rich man to take care of you for the rest of your life, or at the very least take care of you for that summer or that month or something like that. And it's dumb. And so I'm going to assume that these women ran into a situation where guys maybe was not interested in spending no money on them because they didn't think that they was worthy of it for whatever reason, right? They didn't feel like these women was worthy of being spending a bunch of money, thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars on them or whatever. And so now, as usual, when women get bitter, especially when they're not from here, they call them broke. They say you need a direct deposit or whatever like that. And again, I don't know what spots they went to, and it really doesn't even matter. I think that this is bird behavior. We got to do better as a culture. We got to do better as a people. And we got to stop letting people that this is what the expectation should be. What happened to y'all just coming and enjoying the culture, enjoying the city, having fun? Maybe go to a game. Maybe go to the Grand Prix. Maybe go to you know what I'm saying, the Twinder Cut and listen to house music or something like that. The electronic music festival. You over here, you came here in order to look for a man to trick on you? Bird behavior.
You got these 304s. They fly into Detroit. They thinking that some D-boys about to trick on them. Because they heard how Detroit niggas be tricking, but they be in that bag. They don't even know. You not the standard, baby. They get mad because no Detroit nigga showing them love. But they thought this was going to stand out in Detroit. When the Detroit females got hair, rollies on, designer, whatever it is, pulling up and shit, crazy, nice wigs, looking good, nice outfits. They think they gonna stand out in this? No, that's not fire in Detroit, bitch. You got your ex college basketball warm-up jacket on. Come on now.
I'm not going to diss the girl because that's not what I do, but I will say this. One of the reasons why I love the culture in the city is because there are some I'm pretty sure, and I've traveled to a lot of places outside of the country, inside of the country, almost literally every single major city that you can think of, and been out in every single major city that you can think of. And even when it comes to Miami, I think that the women in Miami are incredibly overrated. You know what I'm saying? You know how they be saying, well, whatever, Chicago 8 is a Miami 3. Nonsense. Nonsense. There are some bad chicks down in Miami, but most of them got BBLs. Most of them got a bunch of surgeries. And most of them is not even from Miami. You know what I'm saying? So just because you get a bunch of surgeries that don't lip fillers and stuff, that don't make you bad. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I think that the baddest chicks got the tightest personalities. They do the best that they can with what they got, and they put the effort in to make sure that they look good every single day. And so those are the type of people that I champion. And ones that's not even necessarily looking. I'm gonna just tell you, the girls that get guys that love taking care of them and being generous for them, they not necessarily looking for it. They just enjoying life. You know what I'm saying? They were going to do that for themselves and look good and take care of themselves regardless of whether or not a guy was going to come through and add value. Let's just say add value into their life. And so I think that we have a bad definition of what tricking is. But I will say that the chicks in Detroit, I love the women in Detroit. I think that they are gorgeous. I think they're beautiful. I think that they are so awesome. It's some bad chicks. And it ain't no shortage of them either. All throughout the city, all in downtown, all on the east side, the west side, and the metro areas and the suburbs surrounding Detroit. They bad everywhere. And so I do think that these women are incredibly mistaken, because if guys have to select, if they got to choose, man, it's some chicks that ain't even really getting chose like that. That's bad. That's fine as hell. And so I don't know what these women is expecting, but it is a bad expectation. And I think it's a horrible reputation that guys are just going to spend on you just because. It's crazy.
Not only that, that forehead got more runway than that airport you landing at, baby. So you telling me that they flew all the way to Detroit looking for a sponsor and got introduced to a budget? Nah, she thought Detroit was an ATM. Then the city said, incorrect pin, bitch. Landed thinking she about to get bottles and sachets. Then they see the catfish in her. She got happy hour and split checks. Now I must say this though. I don't think that she's ugly though. But maybe it was her whole approach, her attitude, her friend, her not coming with her own money and thinking that, oh, they about to pay for this, pay for that in Detroit. No.
This young lady just posted this video talk about she in a D and ain't nobody tricking. She thought this would a nigga spend money, and the D must stand for dead broke. And I knew when I watched her video, I knew as soon as I opened those comments, people was going to tell her why she was not getting tricked on. And sometimes a bit of hubris is needed before you post a video. But I can tell you one or two things. Either A, you're not in the right spot. A lot of people try to go to, oh, I'm gonna go to one particular spot and see if the niggas is gonna spend money, and you just gotta be well versed, and you probably need a tour guide, boo. Or two, which is what people were telling her, you cute, you just not cold enough. And I hate to say it really is what it is. Cause a cold bitch step foot in the city, she's getting tricked on.
That is true. It's almost like, to be honest with you, if a bad chick pull up, right, she not gonna step too far without somebody saying, hey, come here for a minute, let me talk to you for a second. You know what I'm saying? And so it's finders keepers at that point. And that's really where the competition come from. It's like, yo, what you doing? Come here for a second. And if you know, you know.
You know her name. They're the money will be generous. But if you're not called, decent don't get you too far. Go to the right places. Now, it might not be aesthetically pleasing on your eye, but the money is still great. That's what I'm saying.
Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make